again, people. Putting a little boiled linseed oil on this, on some of my stocks, and I was using 400 grit paper on the laminate stocks. So on these two, that's a different 22. It looks like my other one, but it's not. I already did my other one stock like that in Waterlox, and it came out pretty nice. This one I just put a coat of linseed oil. I think that's for a Remington 22. And I think this is for my 5.56 bolt action that takes AR mags. I forgot the name of it. I mentioned it in a couple other videos. So I put some linseed oil on that too. You can tell the difference. When I put that linseed oil on these two, I used the sandpaper, and I think that really helps make a smooth linseed oil finish. The more I'm working with different oils, putting on any kind of like Waterlox, linseed oil, tung oil, using a really fine sandpaper really helps get that oil deep into the grains, and it smooths out and it fills up any little minor imperfections in the wood with the actual wood itself and the oil mixed in. So I just wipe down those with a paper towel, and if I leave the linseed, I do not think I've wiped this one down yet. So I can't tell if you can tell that that's a, and I think that's a 30-30. One of these is a 357. I think the one behind the stand over there that you can't see is a 357. That's a 22 Magnum Golden Boy. I keep the little thing over there. Now, I don't think I wiped that one down yet, but I did wipe this one down. So this, I put linseed oil on it. I let it set overnight, let it soak in, and then I came up here with a paper towel and just wiped it down. Because linseed oil tends to get, if you notice on my saddle stand here, in some places you can kind of see where I didn't wipe it down. It left a little bit of, I can sand it, or it just takes a while to dry. So, kind of like stain, if you put on stain thick and leave it, if you want to cover up something, that's cool, but if you want it to be light, you better rub it off. Well, I did the same thing with linseed oil. So what I was going to do here is, if I could stay in camera, is just show you how what it looks like before I wipe it down, and then afterwards. So I just use a paper towel, and I have not wiped this one down yet. So this is, boy, I can't see nothing on this lens. So this has got oil on it, and you'll be able to tell after I wipe it off the difference in the color. But I just rubbed some linseed oil. I did not, on these nice stocks that were already nice, I did not use sandpaper. So I'm going to go ahead and just wipe one side off. And you can tell the little bit of linseed oil I got off there. So that's after I wiped it off. This is before I wipe it off. Now, could I let this set for like 2 days and it would finally soak in, etc.? I could. I just got these sitting up here, and I put a good coat on them, and I'm just going to wipe them down. So that's unwiped, and that's wiped. It still makes the stock look nice. Obviously it looks better when it's got that glistening wet, but this is just the natural wood with some linseed oil on it after I wiped it down. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe this side down. And what's good about linseed oil is you can put it on while it's still on here. You don't have to take it off and worry about getting a little on the gun. It's not going to hurt it. So there it is after I wiped it down. There's the front before I've wiped it down. And I'm not wiping away the deep oil that's soaked in overnight. I'm just wiping down the top oil. So, I don't know what the hell rifle this is. This looks like a 22 Magnum. What is this? This might be another Henry. I remember when I think I bought this gun in a parking lot. It was dark in Fort Worth, and there was two guys and just me. I had a couple guns on me. I didn't really like that transaction. Nice guys, but I was just a little meeting in the middle of a dark parking lot. But we checked each other's license. We did everything legally. We were good little boys, and he wanted to get rid of this rifle. Had a couple little clicks on it. I don't remember what I paid for it. Let's say $300? I don't remember. Maybe $350. Hope it's not loaded. Just let the trigger go. Woo, Rick, you gotta shut up, you big crybaby. Spamming. Alright. This one I already wiped down. It had oil on it, and I wiped it down. It's hard to tell when you didn't see it before. Checkering's a little hard to get linseed oil in there. I usually just kind of put it in, then I just wipe it out. And if you don't get it out, it'll just soak in and absorb into the wood. So it's not that big a deal. I just put that little leather strap down there because sometimes when you're cocking it, that leather makes it more comfortable. And if you watch my whipping video on whipping a rope, that's exactly how I put this on here. I just whipped this on there, wrapped it around, slid it in there, and then pulled one side out and made it tight. And let's see here. I don't think, yeah, I know I haven't wiped the Golden Boy down yet because it's still glistening and wet. So, easy guys. I know some of those words trigger us testosterone males. Start talking about glistening and wet. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, my brothers know what I'm talking about. Alright, so, and that's just wiping down the linseed oil off the Golden Boy. I know somebody's going to say, why didn't you show us the Alright, I'll show you. Good grief. That's what I use my old socks for. Some sort of... So this is what the Golden Boy looks like. Nice little gun. I think it's a 22 mag. Maybe you guys can read that. I can't read it. It's reflecting off a thing. Hell, I don't know what the hell it is. 22. Oh no. I think it says long rifle. So anyway, just wanted to show the linseed oil, the difference. I might go ahead and put, this is my little 357, this is what I usually carry on. This has kind of a funky stock. I don't know if, this almost looked like it was laminated. I couldn't tell if it was wood with a finish or if it was like junk, but I went ahead and put it on there anyway. I think it's a wood stock, but it's got a funky kind of finish. I don't know if somebody can tell if that's wood or not. It's been in the saddle for quite a few years. This little thing's called a saddle ring, for those that don't know. So you don't lose your saddle. You put one of your, hell, I can't think of the damn straps now, but one of your strings that hang, you just tie it onto there, so in case your gun pops out of your thing, you won't lose it. Kind of like on the 45, a little loop at the bottom of the 45, so you don't lose a lanyard when you're running through. If your gun falls out, that's kind of what that is. Same thing. And I'll wipe down the front of this. You can tell the rag's kind of getting the oil that I'm pulling off. Oh, and before somebody tells me about this linseed oil, don't lay your rags, it'll catch on fire. I took a rag that I did this with all these guns and I threw it in my freaking oven. And I threw it in there and said, let's see if the sucker catches fire. And the next morning, it was still there. And the next night, it was still there. It didn't burn up. So, I know there's a video out there where the firemen, when they weren't blocking freaking roads, they decided to do a video. And they show that they put this in here and it catches fire. So, once summer gets here, I'm going to lay some rags and different rags and do an experiment on that linseed oil and put them out in the sun and see if they catch fire. Because I know I hear that, but I'm telling you, I'll throw this in the freaking oven and a week later it'll still be there. It ain't catching fire. So, this was going to be a little short video, but so this is the one that I took off so you guys can see it. Same thing, wiped it down, put the oil on, let it set overnight, and then wiped it down. I'm still debating on whether to put that Waterlox on here, because you can tell on the inside here that Waterlox puts a coating, and if water gets in here, this is almost like raw wood. It's just not protected, and that's where the gun and the frame sits in there. So to Waterlox that and make sure no moisture would go in and soak into the wood and soften this, I mean, as much as my guns get out in the rain, probably doesn't matter. But if I had this gun out in a garage or in my truck or on a quad and I was out riding and, you know, shit hit the fan, there was no electricity, and now all of a sudden this gun was out in the field all the time ready for use, I wouldn't want water slowly decaying this stock. But, so I'm going to Waterlox this one and the one on the, little bit different stocks, even though they're you can tell the difference in these two stocks. A little bit color variations. This one has a little bit of checkering. I forgot who makes this. It's pretty cool though. It takes an AR mag and it's a bolt. So and it's got a heavy barrel. Like I said, I put it in one of my other videos. Maybe I'll try to clip in when I put those back together after I Waterlox them. But anyway, passing on my tips. I know somebody's going to be like, you don't know you. Hey man, some of you guys give good tips and I appreciate it. Like somebody will come here and go, man, you should have mixed that with ammonia and C4 and it makes it polish really good. So I do get some good tips on some of these guns. But anyway, just putting some linseed oil on the old stocks for the summer. We'll end that there. How you going, people? Put a little Waterlox on the old Grand. I got the turkey baster to get the Waterlox out instead of pouring it. Works a lot better. Had some old batons. I had some stuff left over, so my old little Coubatons, they were kind of rough. That's the M1 Grand. That's the M1 Grand top. Those are little Coubatons that I did a video on those. Those are some old batons that I pulled out that were wood. They were looking kind of rough. I just ran some sandpaper over, figured I'd protect them. What else? I had this little box here that holds my stone, and I had a couple of these swords, these practice swords, that I just used what was left on them. There's another one back there. I know you guys think I put another coat on top of that too, since I had a little left over. And I painted, somebody wanted a blue little 3%er sign, so I painted it on this thing. So I just went ahead and put some Waterlox over it too. So hopefully all my leftover Waterlox, next time I use Waterlox, I'm gonna clean this bench off so I can just Waterlox the whole bench, because this it makes a nice coating. Things doesn't stick to it. It's easier to clean up, so I like it. And I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with this cutting board. It's all kind of warped. It goes like that. I'll use it for something. If anything, I'll just take it out and shoot it. But anyway, that's my Waterlox update. I had to show people because people were like, man, your Waterlox and everything. I'm gonna do a video just to freak out my horse people and say I put it on my horse's hoofs, and watch all the hate mail I get. I'll have to tell them I'm joking, otherwise freaking they'll beat me up. All right, we'll end it there.